putting lives at risk. DHS Secretary Kristi Noem said FEMA should be eliminated as it exists today and remade. For national air travelers, a controversial video has been available in some airports. Closer to home, not the case.
Democrats in Congress refuse to fund the federal government.
That from the TSA video featuring Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem, and while some are okay with it, others are not, saying it politicizes the shutdown. The Metropolitan Washington Airports Authority is not airing it in terminals. BWI is reviewing the topic. In the words of one air traveler to 7 News,
They've shut the government down. It's not one side or the other. Absolutely should not show that video.
Meanwhile, at Reagan National and Dulles, Real ID and helpful security videos remain in heavy rotation. Scott Lynn on WMAL and WMAL.com.
Checking your money, the Dow closed up 238 points. Traffic and weather next.
Business owners, are your work vans older than your fax machine? Do they squeak, rattle, and smell like regrets? Then it's time to upgrade to a real workhorse at Bob Johnson Ford of Pulaski. We've got the biggest selection of transit vans this side of sanity, and right now get $3,500 off. Just head to 84 Caprera Drive or gallop over to BobJohnsonFord.com. That's Bob Johnson Ford of Pulaski, where your next van doesn't smell like drywall dust and broken dreams. See dealer for details.
NFL fans, what's your favorite touchdown? For me, it's the next one. Because with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL, every touchdown could bring you closer to cashing in. Your team hitting pay dirt pays out to you. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code HEART. That's code HEART for new customers to turn $5 into $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, pass-through of per-wager tax may apply in Illinois. 21 and over. Age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bet must win to receive bonus bets which expire in 7 days. Minimum odds required. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio. Limited time offer.
Here's Michelle Murray in the Hadid Carpet Cleaning Traffic Center.
Traffic still slow on the Beltway Inner Loop beginning at the Leesburg Pike headed towards the Spur and from Old Georgetown Road to New Hampshire Avenue, and then heavy from 95 to Kenilworth Avenue. Also slow through Oxon Hill on the Inner Loop from 210 to the Wilson Bridge, and the Outer Loop is still slow from the Springfield Interchange to the Wilson Bridge. Watch out for accident activity right now in Greenbelt on the BW Parkway southbound between the Beltway and 410. And that has traffic jam from 197 and some slowing on the northbound side between 202 and 197. And in Northeast, there is crash activity on Benning Road at 45th Street. Now from GarageDoorRepair.com, the WMAL Stormwatch 7 forecast.
Friday night, clear skies and cooler temperatures, especially once the sun sets, with most neighborhoods getting into the mid-40s by tomorrow morning. I'm 7 News meteorologist Mark Pena in the First Alert Weather Center.
Right now, 65 in Washington. I'm Heather Curtis on WMAL.
Testing them from the underground command post, deep in the bowels of a hidden bunker, somewhere under the brick and steel of a nondescript building, we've once again made contact with our leader, Mark Levin.
Hello, America. Mark Levin here. Our number, 877-381-3811, 877-381-3811. You know, I just saw this. And by the way, how are you, America? Friday, we keep the foot on the gas pedal. I just saw this. Washington Free Beacon. Thomas Ketanaki. Bernie Sanders reports $80,000 splurge on private jets as he condemns America's oligarch form of society. I'm sick of these Marxist bastards who attack wealth and yet acquire wealth or favors all the time. I'm really sick of it. Sanders' campaign has spent more than $500,000 chartering jets this year. Chartering jets all over the place. I flew back to Virginia from Florida with my wife and my mother-in-law. And as we were getting on the plane, you know who was getting on the plane right in front of us, Mr. Producer? Donald Trump Jr. and the Secret Service. He was sitting in row 16. We were in row 25. Now, that's not to say that they don't have private jets and so forth and so on, but he doesn't preach Marxism and socialism either. No, he doesn't. So to me, this is infuriating. This guy, Bernie Sanders, is using campaign money. He spent more than $500,000 on chartering jets this year. You know, AOC does the same damn thing. Senator Bernie Sanders' campaign spent $78,371 chartering private jets between July and September, according to federal campaign finance disclosures submitted Wednesday. Just a few hours later, Sanders lamented that the United States is increasingly becoming an oligarchical form of society during a CNN town hall meeting. Continues the campaign's pattern of spending lavishly on private air travel. During the 6 months prior, friends of Bernie Sanders, all three of them, spent more than $450,000 chartering jets. Sanders has been unapologetic about his use of private jets. He scoffed when Fox News anchor Bret Baier asked him about a Washington Free Beacon report highlighting his spending on private jets during an interview in May. You think I'm going to be sitting, waiting in line at United, waiting while 30,000 people are waiting, Sanders said? Listen to this guy, man of the people, right, Rich? That's what I do. If people are in line, I'm in line. Commercial. It's called flying commercial. It's the only way to get around. No apologies for that. That's what campaign travel is about. We've done it in the past, and we'll do it in the future. Campaign travel, he's not running. He may run at some point. He's flying all over the country. It's unclear whether Sanders feels the same about his campaign staffers. The same day his campaign paid the firm NJet $33,371 in August. For example, it also spent $30,629 on commercial airline tickets. Overall, during the 3-month period ending in September, it spent more than $50,000 on commercial airfare from American and all the airlines. So he's spending tons of money on commercial airfare for his staff. He goes private. He's spending over $500,000 so far this year. Friends of Bernie Sanders, it appears, has primarily chartered private jets to transport the senator to stops along his fighting oligarchy tour. This is sick. A series of political rallies featuring him and Sandy Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. I thought you'd be on your game with that music, Mr. Producer. All right. The tour, it's fair enough. The tour began in February and has included 35 stops across the country, including most recently a rally in New York with, of course, Zohran Mamdani, another millionaire, had his wedding in Uganda, a wall and fence around the home, multi-million-dollar home. These people are a joke. The revelation also comes as lawmakers remain in a stalemate over the ongoing Democrat-led shutdown. We're going to fight for federal employees, Sanders said when asked about the impact shutdown he supports has had on government workers. So they shut it down, quote unquote, and then they say they're defending government workers. That's the way it works. So Bernie Sanders is spending enormous sums of money on private charter air flights for the reason he says, you think I'm going to wait with 30,000 other people at the airport? I'm not going to do that. And he won't wait for health care when you're standing in line once the government controls that, ladies and gentlemen. Or the food lines. He won't be in any line. He's a Maduro. He's a Castro. He's a Xi. That's what he is. He's a commie. And by the way, that's not a pejorative. He's a commie. I mean, how many people went to a Stalinist kibbutz? You really got to work at that. Never even heard of them before. We're going to get into this debate last night. By the way, are we being heard on WABC right now, Mr. Producer? Will you check that out, please? Okay, let's check that out. I do understand why they wanted to run the debate, of course. And Mandami is a liar. That's what I get out of it. A full-fledged, full-throated, lying SOB. That's what it is. But you know what? I was listening, and I don't always, I think it was around 10 a.m., Speaker Johnson at a press conference. I said to myself, wow, this guy, he's hitting it out of the park. He's absolutely hitting it out of the park. Anyways, he sounded like me with the accurate nomenclature for these people, Marxists, Islamists, and all the rest. He was just killing it. And many of you didn't hear it because you're at work or you're doing other things. So I want to play some of this for you. I've never played it for you before. It was just fantastic. So we'll do some now and some after the break, but let's take a listen. This is Speaker Mike Johnson at a press conference today. Cut 10, go.
It is so difficult to be a happy warrior when you know that so many millions of American people are suffering, being made to suffer unnecessarily because of the Democrats' political games. If you're keeping count at home, we're on day 17 of the shutdown. The Democrats have now voted for the 11th time to keep the government closed. 11 times now. They've refused to just do their basic job, get the government going again, making sure that federal employees are paid, that our troops are paid, Border Patrol agents, TSA agents, air traffic controllers, and everyone else who relies upon the vital services of our federal government. They're being denied that because Democrats in Congress are playing game.
11, go.
Now, tomorrow, the Democrat leaders are going to join for a big party out on the National Mall. They're going to descend on our Capitol for their much anticipated so-called No Kings rally. We refer to it by its more accurate description, the Hate America rally. Okay. And I'm not sure how anybody can refute that. If you think about what's going to happen here tomorrow, you're going to bring together the Marxists, the socialists, the Antifa advocates, the anarchists, and the pro-Hamas wing of the far-left Democrat Party. That is the modern Democratic Party. That's where they've gone. And the Hate America rally is the common theme among all those groups. Listen to the language they use themselves. Capitalism. They hate our free enterprise system. They hate our principles. They hate the ideas that we come in to work every day to fight for, to preserve in the greatest nation in the history of the world. They hate the idea of individual freedom and limited government. They hate the idea of the rule of law. They fight against it all the time. They hate the idea of peace through strength. They lobby against it all the time. Individual freedom, limited government, the rule of law, peace through strength, fiscal responsibility, free markets, human dignity, the things that lead to human flourishing, the things that made us the greatest nation in the history of the world. They're opposed to law enforcement. They're opposed to military, and their votes show it over and over. That's the collection of voices that you'll hear tomorrow that the Democrats will go out and raise their hands with and cheer with. And some of these people are so blinded by their hatred of President Donald Trump that they can't find one reason to celebrate America or all that we've accomplished and continue to accomplish under this new administration.
And when we come back, I want you to hear a little bit more, and then I want to tell you who's funding this. Look, the Democrats. None of this is spontaneous. It's never spontaneous. It's like the communist rallies of old. You know, they pay people to show up at events, pay people to riot. None of this is spontaneous. It's all planned. It's all plotted. And then the media pretend that it is. But we'll get to the bottom of this. We'll be right back.
Mark Levin.
News Talk 105.9 WMAL, making sense of the news.
Hi, I'm Erica, an English major at Hillsdale College. Here's Hillsdale President Dr. Larry Arnn with the Constitution Minute.
The human soul is made to learn, and the highest things of life are the best things to learn. One of these, it turns out, is the way we govern ourselves, and one of the best examples of that is the Constitution of the United States. It explains what our government should look like and how it should function to best protect our rights. It was created to give us the freedom to make choices about the way we wish to live. Unfortunately, most colleges and universities today fail to teach our Constitution. When they do, they often denigrate it. This is dangerous because it is impossible to preserve our liberty if we don't understand where it comes from and how to protect it. Having a proper civics education is essential to preserving our freedom.
To learn more and get a free pocket Constitution, visit constitutionminute.com.
This Constitution Minute was furnished by Hillsdale College.
There is still crash activity reported on the BW Parkway southbound between the Beltway and 410. That is causing delays from 197. Northbound side still heavy between 202 and 197. And DC 295 is jammed up northbound between the 11th Street Bridge and East Capitol Street. And more delays from Benning Road towards Eastern Avenue. Southbound is heavy from Benning Road towards East Capitol Street. Be aware that the Key Bridge is still closed in each direction between M Street and the GW Parkway with police activity. And this is causing extra slow traffic right now on 66 eastbound between 110 and the Potomac River Freeway. Now for GarageRepair.com, the WMAL Stormwatch 7 forecast.
Tonight, clear with lows in the mid-40s. Tomorrow, cloudy with highs in the lower 70s.
But I don't want to get a flu shot.
You don't want to get the flu again. It's just a teensy little poke. Hi, guys. I know you don't like needles, so I brought Fuzzy.
What is that?
It's a device that uses vibration and ice to help take the sting out of shots. See, hun, that wasn't so bad.
Wait, you did it already?
Yep, Fuzzy helps. And Kinney is the only pharmacy that has him.
I'm going to tell everyone I know.
Great. They can schedule online at kinneydrugs.com.
Most people would rather remove a nest of irate hornets than search for auto and home insurance. That's why the Zebra searches for you, comparing over 100 insurance companies to find savings no one else can. Compare today at thezebra.com. I think I'll wait inside.
NFL fans, what's your favorite touchdown? For me, it's the next one. Because with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL, every touchdown could bring you closer to cashing in. Your team hitting pay dirt pays out to you. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code HEART. That's code HEART for new customers to turn $5 into $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, pass-through of per wager tax may apply in Illinois. 21 and over. Age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bet must win to receive bonus bets which expire in 7 days. Minimum odds required. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio. Limited time offer.
Meet Chris. National University supports all his ands. With flexible online courses, he can be a student and teach his son how to hit a curveball and serve his country. He's an ander. Explore National University's 4- and 8-week courses and associate to doctorate degrees. National University, supporting all your ands. Learn more at nu.edu.
Drive into fall with the 2026 Chrysler Pacifica. With spacious seating, advanced safety features, and an available all-wheel drive system, the Pacifica is crafted for every season's adventure. Whether it's school drop-offs, weekend getaways, or holiday road trips, the Pacifica delivers the comfort, flexibility, and capability your family deserves. Hurry into your local Tri-State Chrysler dealer during the Drive into Fall event and start your next journey in the Chrysler Pacifica today.
NFL fans, what's your favorite touchdown? For me, it's the next one. Because with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL, every touchdown could bring you closer to cashing in. Your team hitting pay dirt pays out to you. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code HEART. That's code HEART for new customers to turn $5 into $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, pass-through of per wager tax may apply in Illinois. 21 and over. Age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bet must win to receive bonus bets which expire in 7 days. Minimum odds required. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio. Limited time offer.
WMAL, making sense of mainstream media because the double standard is real. Download the WMAL app to stream us for free.
A little bit more of our friend speaker Mike Johnson laying out this No King's Day. People are so pathetic. Clip 12, go.
Republicans, by the way, are the party that fights to maximize your liberty. And we believe, just as our founders did, that every American has been endowed by God himself with unalienable rights. That includes the rights to life and liberty and the pursuit of happiness. But tomorrow, this rally is not about freedom. It's about the opposite. For many of our Democrat colleagues, tomorrow is about creating really a spectacle. That's what they've been doing here every day of the shutdown with their little TikTok videos and their publicity stunts. And they're going to do it in a much larger venue tomorrow. And as the shutdown drags on, it's becoming increasingly clear that this spectacle is the reason the Democrats have refused to reopen the government.
Mm-hmm. And the last, cut 13, please go.
Is AOC, does she have both oars in the water here, thinking that the president is going to bow down to these demands?
With every ounce of Christian character that I can muster, Laura, let me just say, bless her heart. Okay, this would be comical if it were not so dangerous. You're looking at the two leaders of the modern Democratic Party. We say all the time, this is not your father's party. It's not. These guys are full Marxists. You hear how vapid their ideology is, what empty suits they are. But they are the leaders of the party. They are dragging the rest of the old guard, the old party leaders around by the nose, and they are subservient to their wishes. I mean, Chuck Schumer has picked a fight over this very simple, clean CR to just keep the government funded for 21 additional days till November 21st, 7 more weeks, so that we could get the appropriations process done. And the reason he did it is because he's afraid of that voice you just heard on that stage. He's afraid that AOC is going to challenge him. There's a rise of Marxism in the party. It's happening in New York, in their state. And he's terrified. And that's why everybody around the country is feeling such pain right now because of this nonsense.
Our AOC music. Oh, yes. Hell of a bartender. Over at Breitbart, Democrat fundraising machine in high gear ahead of No King's Day protests. Americans are being bombarded by unsolicited texts and emails, hoping to increase funding to cover expenses related to nationwide protests taking place in more than 100 major cities across the U.S. on Saturday, tomorrow, especially in Washington. Emails and text messages offer links that direct recipients to left-wing fundraising websites such as ActBlue, Inequality Media, ActionNetwork.org, and ProtectingVoting.org. One unsolicited text message sent in random numbers nationwide reportedly comes directly from former Secretary of Labor, the former Secretary of Labor, Robert Reich, the little fellow, under the Clinton administration. That message reads, Robert Reich here. Are you going to attend a No King's Day event on October 18? Let me know. The message sends users to actionnetwork.org. In fine print below, an area where recipients can choose to confirm their attendance, a long legal release of liability paragraph is placed that shields several left-wing organizations from liability for injury or death while in attendance of the quote-unquote peaceful protests. Mm-hmm. One widely distributed unsolicited email directs recipients to an ActBlue website that asks for monetary contributions to bus, quote, college students and young people, unquote, to the protests. By donating $25, ActBlue will provide bagels and coffee. I would think they would provide falafels, Ms. Producer. To one busload of protesters. Donations of $35 will cover signs and materials. $50 will fund pizza for another busload. $100 will cover the transportation of 60 students, quote unquote, to a No King's Day protest. So you can see this whole thing is a concoction. This whole thing. Breitbart, Texas, attended a No King's Day protest in Austin in June, held at the Texas State Capitol building. During the observation, no college students were seen attending pizza parties or receiving bagels and coffee. Some in attendance brought their own helmets, gas masks, shields that will later be used when the protest spilled onto the streets of Austin. As reported by Breitbart, Texas, at the time, hundreds of so-called No Kings protesters in Austin poured onto the downtown streets, sporting dark clothing, helmets, face coverings, sounds like Antifa, and gas masks, shouting obscenities at police officers who kept the crowds from impeding a busy interstate highway near downtown. For several hours, the No Kings protesters antagonized the police, overturned garbage receptacles, and at one point moved police barricades stored in an alley onto a downtown street to block traffic. Several protesters were arrested after the large crowd refused to obey orders to remain out of the streets. They dispersed. The release of liability included within the fundraising drive is likely a recognition that these No King's Day events will prove to be as chaotic as some of those carried out in June. Got that, folks? They're violent, they're riotous, they're mostly not students. This is all paid for, organized. People are moved to various locations throughout the country to draw attention, to create big crowds. This is not a bottom-up, spontaneous move. I'll be right back.
Hey, I'm Mike Slater. My dad passed away at the age of 63. It's out of nowhere. Had a stroke. Super hard, obviously, for the whole family, but my dad had life insurance. This is why I have life insurance for my family, for my wife and 4 kids. And the best place to get life insurance is ethos.com because you can do it in 10 minutes. And there's no medical exam and no blood test, just a few health questions. Get life insurance in 10 minutes so your family is protected. Ethos, E-T-H-O-S, ethos.com/Mike.
Are you tired of online threats? Then get an antivirus. It's the only online protection you will ever need.
Disclaimer, an antivirus is just half protection online. It will not protect you from snoopers or encrypt your traffic. So get better online protection with NordVPN. NordVPN will encrypt your traffic, protect you from malware and phishing, and stop annoying ads. Save 77% on NordVPN and get 3 extra months.
WMAL-FM, Woodbridge, Washington, a Cumulus media station. Making sense of the news. News Talk 105.9. News now.
WMAL News at 6:30. I'm Heather Curtis. Breaking this hour, add the University of Virginia to the list of universities that have decided not to sign a Trump administration compact that would give them priority access to federal funds in exchange for adopting policies aligned with President Trump's agenda, including ending consideration of race in admissions. UVA President Paul Mahoney wrote in a letter to Education Secretary Linda McMahon they don't want special treatment, and the integrity of the school's work requires merit-based assessment of research and scholarship. The consequences of not signing aren't clear. Also breaking this hour, President Trump commuted the sentence of former New York Congressman George Santos, who is serving more than 7 years in federal prison after pleading guilty to fraud and identity theft charges. Traffic and weather next.
NFL fans, what's your favorite touchdown? For me, it's the next one. Because with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL, every touchdown could bring you closer to cashing in. Your team hitting pay dirt pays out to you. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code HEART. That's code HEART for new customers to turn $5 into $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, pass-through of per wager tax may apply in Illinois. 21 and over. Age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bet must win to receive bonus bets which expire in 7 days. Minimum odds required. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio. Limited time offer.
Most people would rather assemble a 300-piece cabinet than search for insurance. That's why the Zebra searches for you, comparing over 100 insurance companies to find savings no one else can. Compare today at thezebra.com.
Pulaski, it's 4th and goal, and Bob Johnson Ford is calling the play. We want your car, and we'll pay you top dollar for it. Don't fumble that trade-in. Score big at 84 Caprera Drive. Whether it's a beater or a beauty, we're ready to make the winning deal. Visit BobJohnsonFord.com and spike that old ride into the end zone. See store for details.
The Mega Millions jackpot is getting mega huge. Head to your favorite New York Lottery retailer and grab a ticket today for your chance at a massive win. Currently over $200 million. Good luck, New York. Please play responsibly.
Making sense of your world.
I agree with you 100%.
News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
There's a lot of us out there.
Making sense of the news. Your next $1,000 could be one text away. It's 5K a day on WMAL.
Mark Levin, America's Tyranny Hunter. Call in now, 877-381-3811.
Well, I must call out Hakeem Jeffries, the feckless Democrat leader in the House of Representatives, feckless in every respect. And remember when Congressman Michael Lawler got in his face? Oh, yes, Hakeem kind of lost it, didn't really respond. Well, now Hakeem is attacking Caroline Leavitt. Caroline Leavitt is a young woman. She isn't even 30 yet. Smart as hell, quick as hell, substantive as hell. And he's trashing Caroline Leavitt. Misogynist is what I would say, Mr. Producer. Misogynist. He's very upset with the way she characterized him and the Democrat Party, supporting Hamas and violent criminals and so forth and so on. But isn't it true, America? Oh, it's quite true. Very true. That's what that party stands for. In fact, I said so. I believe it was my monologue on Saturday. Here's Representative Hakeem Jeffries, the feckless Democrat leader. Cut 14, go.
And then you got Caroline Leavitt, who's sick. She's out of control. And I'm not sure whether she's just demented, ignorant, stone cold liar, or all of the above.
Oh, wow. Wow, attacking a young woman. Attacking a young woman. Tough guy. Tough guy. At first, he was talking about AOC, quite frankly. That to me is a fine description of AOC. That's right, Sandy. Sandy was a bartender. She tended bar. That's what that means. Nothing wrong with that, by the way. That's just the only thing she ever did. I just want to point that out. Now she wants to run the country. She didn't even run the bar. Go ahead.
But the notion that an official White House spokesperson would say that the Democratic Party consists of terrorists, violent criminals, and undocumented immigrants, this makes no sense.
It makes a lot of sense to me. What she's saying is they support them. They support Hamas. Ask Tlaib. Ask Omar. Ask AOC. Ask Mandami. Oh, yeah. See, these people are being called out and they don't like it. No, she's right. 100% right. Violent criminals? Of course they do. They oppose deportation. Deportation includes violent criminals. And they support Soros prosecutors who don't want to prosecute violent criminals. Undocumented immigrants, that's their bread and butter. That's right. That's their bread and butter. Undocumented immigrants, a.k.a. illegal aliens, as we used to call them. No. They're undocumented immigrants. Undocumented. Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. So from now on, you tax frauds out there, you're just an undocumented taxpayer. What do you think of that, Mr. An undocumented taxpayer. Don't you dare call me a tax cheat. It's just undocumented taxpayer. That's what I am. Go ahead.
that this is what the American people are getting from the Trump administration in the middle of a shutdown. So
now this a-hole voted to shut it down, quote unquote. He voted for it. Now, how do these guys, they get away with it because of the press and because they have absolutely no morals whatsoever. They get up there complaining about a shutdown they voted for. They voted for this, and then they're complaining about it. You federal workers out there who are going to miss paychecks but still required to work, you can thank them. They're the ones who are doing this, and they're doing it purposely. We don't have to use Washington logic. We don't have to use the media logic. We know what the hell's going on here. They figure they'll get through this with the help of the corrupt media, the Al Jazeera, Pravda, American media. I mean, after all, they lied on behalf of Hamas. They're going to lie on behalf of the Democrats. Not a lot of difference among some of them, I would argue. Like Mondami. Go ahead.
To speak for themselves.
Ah, shut up, you idiot. And he is an idiot. He's an idiot. Now, this debate last night with Mondami and Cuomo and Sliwa. First of all, the mediator was a complete moron. Complete moron. She didn't hit him hard. She could have hit him hard. She didn't want to hit him hard. But here's Mondami. He's very upset because Cuomo can't name a single mosque. Can't name a single mosque, so he's disqualified, you see, to be mayor of New York because he can't name a single mosque in New York. Well, that's a disqualifier, don't you think, Mr. Badisi? It's got to be. Cut 20, go.
You know, it took Andrew Cuomo being beaten by a Muslim candidate in the Democratic primary for him to set foot in a mosque. He had more than 10 years, and he couldn't name a single mosque at the last debate we had.
So what? So what? So what? Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
What Muslims want in this city is what every community wants and deserves. They want equality and they want respect. And it took me to get you to even see those Muslims as part of this city.
Hey, what does this have to do with Muslims? You're an Islamist jihadist. There are many Muslims, in fact, many Palestinians who have condemned Hamas. They had to twist both your arms out of your sockets until last night you actually said something negative about Hamas. You don't represent Muslims. You represent jihadi Islamists. That's who you are. That's what you represent. That's what your daddy is. That's what your mommy is. That's exactly right. You embrace the terrorist wing of Islamism. You don't speak for Muslims. Go ahead.
Is something that is shameful and is why so many New Yorkers have lost faith in this politics.
So many New Yorkers have lost faith in this politics. This guy has the ability to use propaganda, and he does it very smoothly because he's been trained at it. If you're a Marxist or Islamist or both, you're trained to do this. And so all the problems in society, you can fix, but for Cuomo. You can fix, but for Trump. You can fix, but for capitalism. You can fix, but for this and but for that. That is typical of Marxists, by the way. That is, they preach and promise the impossible and compare it to reality. And so my problem is people don't know how to debate a guy like this. I do know how to debate a guy like this, which is precisely why he has ducked us how many times now, Mr. Producer? Seriously. At least 5 or 6 times. He won't come on this program. 5 or 6 times.
Oh, poor DA's crying. Well, DA, don't come in here and fucking attack me and I won't fucking time you out. It's that simple. You don't get to just come in and insult me.
To get this guy on the program.
Stupid fuck. You're next, DA. You're next, boy. You and your little friend Logical.
For a bigger audience,
Fucking two morons right there, CB. Logical and fucking DA. He's always crying, CB.
Please go.
I've said time and again that I recognize Israel's right to exist. I've said that I will not recognize any state. I've said that I will not.
As a Jewish state.
If I would be allowed to finish, that I would not recognize any state's right to exist with a system of hierarchy on the basis of race or religion.
Really? So there goes the Vatican, right, Mr. Producer? And what about all these Muslim countries? He doesn't mention any of them. How come? How come? Israel was founded as a Jewish state. That's what Zionism is all about. The Holy Land, the birth of the Jewish religion. That's why he won't mention that it's a Jewish state. That's what it is. The Vatican is a Catholic state. That's what it is. These Muslim countries are Muslim countries. That's what they are. He is a hate-on for Israel and a hate-on for Jews, except for the Jews that support him. The self-hating, moronic, suicidal Jews, of which there are not many, but too many, who support this rabid Jew hater. And that's the truth. Affordability. Affordability is a word. Exactly what economic process will he put in place to ensure affordability? He will ensure shortages. He will ensure impoverishment. He will ensure economic dislocation. He will ensure that businesses and wealthy people leave. They won't be available to tax. And so whoever's left and whatever's left is going to have a beatdown. They're going to have a beatdown. They're going to pay. And this guy will keep railing against the system. It's the system, don't you know? It's the entrenched billionaires why they take their private flights. While they have a marriage with bodyguards and security guards behind a wall in a multi-million-dollar mansion in the middle of Uganda. Oh, yeah. Go ahead, please.
Clear. And part of that is because I'm an American who believes in the importance of equal rights being enshrined in every single country, whether we're speaking about Israel or whether we're speaking about Saudi Arabia.
Equal rights enshrined in every single country? This jackass won't condemn Hamas? Tell me, where are equal rights enshrined, no offense, in any Muslim country? Name one. In any Arab country? Name one. Where are the democracies in the Middle East? Name one. Qatar gave his mother millions of dollars to produce films. Is that the equality he's talking about? Qatar enslaves foreign workers. He doesn't mention that. Why not? Why not? Maybe he hasn't been in any mosques lately. Certainly not overseas. He's a fraud. He's a liar. And as you can see, if I had been there, the punchback would have been unbelievable. Don't you think, Mr. Producer? I would have had a blast with this guy. He's not that smart. He's just not. Go ahead.
You can lie all you want, but New Yorkers know that.
We have the question. We want to put Israel.
He's right. Almost right. More when I return. I'll be right back.
Mark Levin.
Newstalk 105.9 WMAL, making sense of the news. These days, when it comes to news, the World Wide Web is more like the Wild Wild West.
It makes you want to throw something, doesn't it?
So where can you go to make sense of your world online? Depend on WMAL.com. Get the day's top stories, stream your favorite WMAL shows, access our podcast archives, and more.
Awesome, hilarious, entertaining, educational.
For a local news source you can trust, visit WMAL.com, making sense of your world online.
On the outer loop of the Beltway in Lanham before Route 50, an accident being cleared from the roadway, but traffic is jammed from Pennsylvania Avenue. And in Hillendale, there was an accident on the outer loop after New Hampshire Avenue with delays from the 95 interchange.
Just to let you guys know, all right, JT has a wrench in my chat. He timed somebody out, and I didn't say who did it. It's somebody who's in here, and he fucking nailed him. So, CB and Will, just for your own information, JT does have a wrench in here. So, you know, if you're going to troll, all right, I don't mind you trolling, but, you know, don't be like Andy 504 and Ash fucking Alpesh fucking Pud Puller Patel. All right, because Rusty needs to do the same with Will Durant as she did with Charlie today, because Will Durant's fucking really attacked Rusty over the years, making videos and all kinds of shit. What the fudge? Will, be thankful I like you, okay? Will Durant, you're at the mercy of Rusty's wrench in here. That's all there is to it. And if you come after me, I'm just going to time you out and not give a shit, because I let you in my chat, Will. You're just too chicken shit to come up on my panel, Will. You don't want to be showing up or anything. You needed me to defeat Rob Noxious. I'll let you give yourself the win on Rob Noxious, but you didn't really win it. All right.
Learn more at ame.apus.edu/military.
Warning. Inflation is back on the rise.
I knew you'd come in here.
National debt is spiraling out of control. The stock market has been at an all-time high, and wars continue to rage across the globe. Experts are predicting a massive economic crash for 2025, and you should be ready. Will you sit on the sidelines and wait, or will you take action today to help protect your hard-earned retirement?
CV says I'm handsome, so I can't argue with that.
Where you'll learn why tens of thousands of hardworking Americans and even the world's central banks are turning to precious metals to help protect.
Will Durant, I want to know one thing, and I want the fucking truth. I want the fucking truth. If you don't tell me the truth on it, Will, then I will get mad at you. All right. Do you support Logical? Are you friends with Logical? Do you go along with the shit that he's doing? Will Durant. I don't care if you go live. I give a fuck. I advertise for everybody. I fucking idiot Alpesh fucking telling Patrick, oh, he's advertising for us. Holy fuck. Everybody has a live button on their feed. Anybody can go check to see who's live. If you're live and you got it public, it's gonna fucking show. Unless Google and YouTube's fucking shadow banning you.
The Association of Mature American Citizens. AMAC is the conservative alternative, offering not only a
so you advertise for yourself. It's JC over there fucking does that shit. Like she's afraid I'm gonna steal her chatters. They fucking go everywhere anyways.
And so much more, along with helpful tools and resources designed to keep you ahead of the curve. And one of the best parts, look at the AMAC magazine.
I do believe Will Durant supports Donald Trump. I do believe that.
When you choose a 5-year membership,
Eric Hostetler. Holy shit. That's close to Hassenpfeffer. Are you German or Polish or Yiddish or what the fuck are you? This is why I don't make videos and do what you guys do. I leave it up to you. They can't come after me for videos and copyright strike on that shit. Wiggin got all mad when I let JC and I let Tiffany strike me. I forced JC to do it, and Tiffany's just a spiteful bitch.
Gold is over 43.
I don't like spiteful people. I don't. Turns me off. A fucking girl I married was spiteful. You want to know why she left me?
Some Wall Street insiders are making a stunning prediction.
Why else does a woman leave her man?
$1,000 an ounce before President Trump leaves.
Marriage is hard work. I worked all the time. I had responsibilities. Fuck you assholes. Fuck, especially you, JC.
People are very concerned about
you and your little buddy Wiggin. Wiggin simps JC. Wiggin's been simping JC since I've known him.
You know why is that? Because the debt load is impossible to maintain. They just can't keep up like this. Does it look like the Democrats in Congress are serious about this? No, they're not serious at all. They want to add another $1.5 trillion.
Let me make a prediction. I hope it doesn't happen, though. I can see Will Durant. He lives in Florida. In Florida, you have stand your ground law. In Florida, I almost think you can carry concealed with no permit. I think as long as you're a Florida resident, you prove who you are. It's like that down in the South in several states. I learned that quick when I moved. First time I went to South Carolina. I was actually told you're supposed to change your license after 30 days. You're in the Navy, you have to change it to South Carolina. So at one time, I had a South Carolina driver's license with New York plates on my car. That's a fact. Yeah. And I can see Peter Pimp fucking at some Trump rally and somebody's trying to do something nefarious like kill somebody, and that motherfucker pulls his gun out and shoots somebody. You're a hero. There's another Kyle Rittenhouse. Yeah. You like my blue eyes?
Your salary, on your savings, on your pension is to diversify with gold and silver. So call Monetary Gold. They're the best of the best. 877.
That's one thing about listening to the radio. A lot of times they'll do their own commercials.
Or visit Mark Loves Gold.
Mark Levin, people like that. He doesn't like before he comes on or during his show, he doesn't want us hearing Viagra fucking commercial. I get in YouTube, I get so sick of hearing that shit. That one that they have, my nephew is in the bathroom and my husband took Viagra. It's fucking, they're weird. Fucking weird. I'm about to start watching RuPaul.
That's the advice I can give you. Zohran Mamdani at the debate last night. Yeah. Let's see. Let's go to cut 22, Mr. Producer. Go.
You were asked if Hamas should lay down its weapons, key to the peace plan and ceasefire. And some say they found your answer confusing. You said, quote, I don't really have opinions about the future of Hamas in Israel beyond the question of justice and safety and the fact that anything has to abide by international law. And that applies to Hamas, and that applies to the Israeli military. So for the voters tuning in tonight, Mr. Mamdani, what do you believe about Hamas and how lasting peace will be achieved? We know it's a complicated matter, but we'd like you to keep your answer to a minute if you could.
Of course, I believe that they should lay down their arms. I'm proud to be one of the first elected officials.
That's the first one to say. First time he said it. Because his back is against the wall. He's a liar. The man is a liar. Remember, I wrote in my book on power how imams, particularly one so-called scholar in 1965, Kaduk, he said that you should lie when you're in the West, you should lie to the West in order to advance their fundamentalist ideology. That is exactly what Mamdani is doing, because it took him right to this debate to finally say what he said, which means he doesn't mean it. Go ahead.
Who called for a ceasefire. And calling for a ceasefire means seizing fire. That means all parties have to cease fire and put down their weapons.
See, it's always a relativism. Israel, you see. Ladies and gentlemen, Israel's a democracy. Israel was attacked. Israel's trying to defend itself. Hamas has murdered Jews constantly. That's in their mission statement. They're part of the Muslim Brotherhood. They want to destroy the West and the United States. Israel wants to be left alone. But this time, they didn't sue for peace or a ceasefire. They decided they're going to take out Hamas, Hezbollah, Iran, and everybody else that's trying to murder them. And this jackass, this pathetic moron, he keeps drawing a moral equivalency between the state of Israel, democracy, and Hamas, a terrorist organization. A terrorist organization that would like drawing a moral equivalency between us here in the United States and Al-Qaeda that attacked us, or the Taliban. He's sympathetic to these movements. He's sympathetic to them. Caroline Levitt is 100% correct. 100% correct. And these individuals are with the Democrat Party. They got the nomination of the Democrat Party. And if he's elected, he'll be elected because of the Democrats in New York City, not the Republicans, not the conservatives. So to look at all this and then pretend otherwise is to commit suicide. as they make it. The Democrat Party's all in America. This isn't the base. This is the Democrat Party. I'll be right back.
Warning, inflation is back on the rise. The national debt is spiraling out of control. The stock market has been at an all-time high, and wars continue to rage across the globe. Experts are predicting a massive economic crash for 2025, and you should be ready. Will you sit on the sidelines and wait, or will you take action today to help protect your hard-earned retirement savings?
Root beer.
Right now, you can get a free gold and silver kit from the top-rated precious metals company, Goldco, where you'll learn why tens of thousands of hardworking Americans and even the world's central banks are turning to precious
That's
metals
what I
to
needed.
help protect and diversify their money. Get your free gold and silver kit from Goldco by calling 855-GOLD-IRA. You could even receive up to a 10% instant match on bonus silver for qualified accounts. Don't let your financial future slip through your fingers. Learn why so many Americans are diversifying with gold and silver today. Call 855-GOLD-IRA. That's 855-GOLD-IRA.
Business owners, are your work vans older than your fax machine? Do they squeak, rattle, and smell like regret? Then it's time to upgrade to a real workhorse at Bob Johnson Ford of Pulaski. We've got the biggest selection of transit vans this side of sanity, and right now get $3,500 off. Just head to 84 Caprera Drive or gallop over to BobJohnsonFord.com. That's Bob Johnson Ford of Pulaski, where your next van doesn't smell like drywall dust and broken dreams.
Oh, my knee. What I did is, I was sitting here, and I turned my chair, and I whacked my kneecap right on the top of the kneecap on the leg of the table. It's fucking hurt. I did. I whacked that fucker right on the pressure point. Fucking my knees, fucking sore.
WMAL News at 7. Curtis. President Trump gives former New York Congressman George Santos a get-out-of-jail-free card, commuting his sentence for wire fraud and identity theft.
Santos was less than 3 months into a more than 7-year prison sentence after pleading guilty to wire fraud, identity theft, and campaign finance violations, which improperly netted him several $100,000. In a posting on Truth Social, the president stated Santos' sentence was too harsh, ordered him released from prison immediately, and wrote, "Good luck, George. Have a great life." Kevin Uretsky, Fox News.
A man convicted of brutally murdering a second-grade teacher at a Greenbelt school in 2023 is sentenced today to life without parole. In June, Harold Landon III was found guilty of abducting, murdering, and dismembering Miriam Silla. The Dora Kennedy French immersion school teacher went missing after going on a walk. Her torso was later found in a retention pond.
He committed a very savage act.
Former Prince George's County State's Attorney Aisha Braveboy helped build the case.
We don't believe they knew each other at all. They were perfect strangers, which is very scary. Perfect strangers, right? So I don't think we'll ever know his true motive.
Or where he dumped the rest of her body. Today's White House meeting between President Trump and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky struck a much calmer tone than February's explosive one. President Trump praised Zelensky's leadership, and Zelensky returned the comment.
My congratulations with your successful ceasefire in the Middle East.
Thank you.
Yeah, and you did it. And I think this is the momentum to finish Russia's war against Ukraine.
After the meeting, Zelensky said the two talked about his request for long-range Tomahawk missiles, but would not share the details publicly to avoid any escalation in the tensions. The president saying from the White House earlier,
hopefully they won't need it. Hopefully we'll be able to get the war over with without thinking about Tomahawks.
Ahead of Zelensky's visit and tomorrow's No Kings protests, the Secret Service installed anti-scale fencing around the White House. Organizers say it will be a peaceful day of action around the country and world against what they see as President Trump's growing authoritarianism. House Speaker Mike Johnson with his take.
You're going to bring together the Marxists, the socialists, the Antifa advocates, the anarchists, and the pro-Hamas wing of the far-left Democrat Party.
Ahead of protests in his state, Virginia Governor Glenn Youngkin's mobilizing the National Guard and stepping up police presence to keep people safe. He says Virginians have the right to peacefully protest, but there will be zero tolerance for violence. The Army Corps of Engineers pauses $11 billion of projects, including ones in Baltimore and New York, on this 17th day of the government shutdown. OMB Director Russ Vought says on X, quote, "The Democrat shutdown is draining the Army Corps of its ability to manage billions of dollars in projects. He says they're lower priority ones, but didn't give specifics. Baltimore City Councilman Mark Conway slammed the move, telling the Baltimore Sun the administration's draining critical investments to fund what he calls an invasion of ICE agents in American cities. A big move for Loudoun County offices is given preliminary approval by the county's Board of Supervisors.
The plan is to move the supervisors and the rest of county government to a site east of Leesburg near Metro's Silver Line and turn over the current office building in downtown Leesburg for use by the county's court system. County Administrator Erin McClellan.
This entire building will likely be needed for the growth of the court.
McClellan says that while some sharing of the space is possible, if that's what the board wants, that can present problems for the public.
A lot of court services are not compatible with other services because of the level of security.
Matt Coates on WMAL and WMAL.com.
Traffic and weather next.
The Mega Millions jackpot is getting mega huge. Head to your favorite New York Lottery retailer and grab a ticket today for your chance at a massive win. Currently over $200 million. Good luck, New York. Please play responsibly.
Whether you write code or shape strategy, if you build, you belong. Twilio's customer engagement platform is the ultimate toolbox for developers, designers, business leaders, and everyone in between. Looking to create truly memorable customer experiences? With Twilio, you can combine data, AI, and real-time communications in one open, flexible space. So you can build without limits, without workarounds, and without compromise. So, what will you build today? Learn more at Twilio.com.
Pulaski, it's 4th and goal, and Bob Johnson Ford is calling the play. We want your car, and we'll pay you top dollar for it. Don't fumble that trade-in. Score big at 84 Caprera Drive. Whether it's a beater or a beauty, we're ready to make the winning deal. Visit BobJohnsonFord.com and spike that old ride into the end zone. See store for details.
Here's Michelle Murray in the Hadid Carpet Cleaning Traffic Center.
Accident activity on the Beltway in Montgomery County on the outer loop at New Hampshire Avenue blocks the right lane and traffic is jammed from 95. Earlier crash on the outer loop before Route 50 cleared, but traffic still very slow from Pennsylvania Avenue, and the inner loop still heavy through Tyson's in towards Bethesda and College Park. Watch out for the accident on inbound New York Avenue at South Dakota Avenue with traffic jam from the BW Parkway. And keep in mind that the Key Bridge remains closed between the George Washington Parkway and M Street with police activity. And this has M Street closed at times as well between the Whitehurst Freeway and Pennsylvania Avenue. Traffic generally very heavy in the area. Now from GarageDoorRepair.com, the WMAL Storm Watch 7 forecast.
Mainly clear skies this evening and into the overnight. We'll see temperatures in the 40s early tomorrow morning. Morning clouds give way to afternoon sunshine on your Saturday, 70 to 75 degrees. Ahead of a cold front on Sunday, temperatures mid-70s to around 80. I'm 7 News meteorologist Steve Rudin in the First Alert Weather Center.
Right now, 62 in Washington. I'm Heather Curtis on WMAL.
Now broadcasting from the underground command post, deep in the bowels of a hidden bunker, somewhere under the brick and steel of a nondescript building, we've once again made contact with our leader, Mark Levin.
Hello, America. Mark Levin here. Our number, 877-381-3811, 877-381-3811. We'll be taking calls in hour 3 at the bottom of the hour. Just have a question. The Hill newspaper, Alexander Bolton, Democrats block defense spending bill as shutdown tensions rise. There have been 11 votes in the so-called shutdown. The Republicans said, hey, look, we know you want to deal with this healthcare stuff. Let's vote, pass the continuing resolution, and then we will immediately vote on your healthcare proposal. And you know what they told the Republicans? No, we want the outcome that we want. We want you to extend Obamacare benefits well beyond a year. Now, keep something in mind. They controlled Congress last year, and they only extended Obamacare benefits, that is, increased benefits to fund it, for 1 year. That's what the Democrats did. And that 1 year's not even up. So the Republicans are saying, we may have to do more than that. We may have to kind of gut this thing and start over or something. No, we want additional monies to extend it. And we want it now, or we're not going to vote to fund the Defense Department. That is basically military personnel. We're not going to vote to fund it. The airline, the traffic control.
Root beer.
We're not going to vote to fund the TSA. We want as much anarchy, inconvenience as possible because we're blaming this stuff on you, Republicans. You got it? That's what's going on. Senate Democrats voted yesterday to block the annual full-year defense appropriation bill. Despite that measure passing out of committee with strong bipartisan support earlier this year. So all the Democrats who voted for it in the committee now voted against it on the floor of the Senate. Got it? The Senate voted 50-44 against proceeding to the bill after Senate Democratic leader Schumer objected to considering the defense bill without also voting on the annual labor, health, and human service appropriation bill. That is, they insist on their answer. And by the way, they want to fund Medicaid for illegal aliens, and they want to fund Medicaid for able-bodied Americans. So this is the $1.5 trillion that they want spent. And if they can't spend it, they're going to vote no on individual spending clauses and blame the Republicans. And of course, they know that their media is going to help them try and get away with this. You understand? 3 Senate Democrats voted to advance the measure. Catherine Cortez Masto of Nevada, John Fetterman of Pennsylvania, and Jeanne Shaheen of New Hampshire. Now, Fetterman, the Democrat Party in Pennsylvania, which is controlled by Josh Shapiro, another phony moderate, they're looking for a strong candidate from their perspective to defeat Fetterman in the Democrat primary. That's what they're trying to do now. Now, Fetterman votes with the Democrats 85% of the time. But on certain things like immigration, law and order, the government, Israel, he's independent. He's moderate. He says, look, I put my country first and the citizens first. The party is behind that. And I've told you before, for the Democrat Party, it's like the Communist Party. That is, the Communist Party. That's who you owe your allegiance to, the Democrat Party, not the country. I like Fetterman a lot. I really do. A lot. Cortez Masto and Fetterman have previously voted for the House-passed bill to reopen the government. Shaheen has been at the center of talks with Republican colleagues about finding a deal to end the shutdown, such as it is. So that's what's going on here. 2 weeks ago, when Democrats chose to take the federal government hostage for partisan priorities, says Mitch McConnell, I warned that there would be nothing to gain from this shutdown. Today, our colleagues' refusal even to begin considering the overwhelmingly bipartisan defense appropriation bill is a sobering reminder that there is, however, much to lose, he said in a statement. It would have provided $171 billion for the procurement of weapon systems, $141 billion for research, development, and testing of platforms. And the Democrats voted no. No. Senate Majority Leader John Thune, and by the way, leader, and he's fighting like hell. Through a curveball in the negotiation. Tim Kaine has voted against it, Virginia, just so you know. Now, they can blame the Democrats all they want. The voting record is out there. There's roll call votes. Now, this $852 billion defense appropriations bill passed out of the committee by the vote of 26-3. And now they can't get it passed on the floor of the Senate. It provides a 3.8% pay raise for all service members. You know, Sanders voted against it while he spent over $500,000 on private jets. Mr. Man of the People, Mr. Marxist, Mr. Anti-Billionaires, Mr. Anti-Oligarch. Now, the president, Trump, over the weekend said he has directed Secretary of War Pete Hegseth to use all available funds to ensure members of the military get paid during the shutdown. And so there's Trump fighting like hell to make sure you get paid. Yeah. The vote on the defense bill followed an earlier vote on the House. House passed continuing resolution to fund the government through November 21. Senate Democrats have now defeated that 11 times. 11 times. And then they go on TV with supportive hosts, supported anchors, supported phony journalists, talking about how they want to open the government. They really do. But it's the Republicans' fault because they're cutting health care. Right. They don't want to fund health care for illegals and able-bodied Americans without them working 20 hours a week. That is the able-bodied Americans. That's them cutting Medicaid. You believe that? $200 billion for illegal alien health care. Be better than yours. That's what the Democrats are fighting for. That's the sword they're falling on. I want you to listen. This is important to understand. You see, Mondami is not an outlier. Sanders is not an outlier. Tlaib, Omar, AOC, they're not outliers. The Democrat Party has become exactly what those people are, ideologically. That's what the Democrat Party is. I see these a-holes, these morons, they go on TV. They work for Obama, they work for Biden. And they spin everything. They spin it because they're dead enders. They are Democrat dead enders no matter what.
Come on up here, Scott, and I'll go backstage so we can talk. I need to tell you something. I want to tell you here. I need to talk to you. That's why I called you earlier. Come on up, and then I'll end my broadcast. We'll go backstage, and we can talk. I got something I need to tell you. It's important. All right, stay right there.
What's up, my favorite uncle?